Hey guys, this is Vadim and welcome to MacStack. So it's been 10 years since Apple released the original MacBook Air, and it hasn't changed a single time until now. Apple's new 2018 MacBook Air has been completely redesigned to look more like their 12-inch MacBook, and it all looks great except for a few things that are keeping me from buying it right now. People bought the original MacBook for a few different reasons. One, it was cheap, it was thin, it was light, it had lots of ports, and had great battery life. Now the biggest problem with the new 2018 MacBook Air is that it costs $200 more than it did before, making it only $100 cheaper than the 13-inch MacBook Pro and the 12-inch MacBook. Now I agree that the new MacBook Air is better than the 12-inch MacBook in basically every way, except it's a little bit thicker and it's a little bit heavier. The 13-inch MacBook Pro is better in a few ways, which I'll get into in just a bit. Now I personally think that Apple really should have priced this at a maximum of $1099, because $1199 is way too expensive and it's way too close to the other devices. On to the second problem, there's only two ports. They're both Thunderbolt 3 ports, which is really nice, but the old MacBook Air had a ton of ports, and this one just has two ports, and you're gonna need adapters for all your legacy devices. So that is a major issue for all the casual users. Of course, Thunderbolt 3 is nice because you can hook up really fast drives, you can hook up a 5K external display and a bunch of other stuff, but the market that the MacBook Air is targeted to doesn't really need this stuff at all. And the people who do need those ports are just gonna go with the 13-inch MacBook Pro anyways, or maybe even the 2018 MacBook Pro that starts at $1799. That's personally what I would choose. So overall, a lot of the regular consumers are gonna have big issues with the two USB-C ports. Now on to the third problem, the MacBook Air is still packing a dual-core processor while the rest of the market is moving to 4 cores. I'm really not sure why Apple stuck with the dual core. Now I know that it helps with battery life, but it would have been really nice to have that extra upgrade option to a quad core. Yes, it matches the 13-inch MacBook Pro's turbo boost of 3.6 GHz, but the core clock speed is a lot slower, and it's a 7-watt chip instead of a 15-watt chip, so it's gonna draw a lot less power and it's ultimately gonna be slower. Not only that, but the new MacBook Air's graphics performance is much worse than the 13-inch MacBook Pro's. In fact, the MacBook Pro gets 50% faster graphics performance. Now of course, that's why it's called the MacBook Pro, but if you check B&H, it's only $50 more than the new MacBook Air for all that extra power. Sure, the target market doesn't really need the extra power, but for me personally, that's the only reason why I haven't already ordered the MacBook Air. Now on to the fourth reason, even though the new MacBook Air has a Retina display, it's actually worse than the 13-inch MacBook Pro's Retina display. The Pro gets a brighter 500 nit display, which really helps for using it outside in the daylight or even in a really bright room. The Pro also gets P3 wide color gamut support, so it's got much better color accuracy compared to the Air. This is yet another reason to choose the Pro over the Air for just $50 more. For the fifth and final problem, the new MacBook Air is still using Bluetooth 4.2. Basically every single 2018 Apple device except for the budget iPad has now moved on to Bluetooth 5, including all the new iPhones, the HomePod, the Apple TV 4K, the Mac Mini, the MacBook Pros, and the new iPad Pro. Since everything else is moving on to Bluetooth 5, it really sucks that Apple chose to keep the MacBook Air at Bluetooth 4.2. Of course, it's not that big of a deal yet because there isn't that many Bluetooth 5 devices out there, but it's still a big deal to me. So there you have it guys, that's the top 5 problems with the new MacBook Air. Thanks for watching this video guys, make sure to leave a comment below and subscribe for more videos like this one.